Hi everybody, it's David Porter. I'm back. My last video on signature versus MO got cut short. Okay, I discussed signature and MO in the last video. Two other facets of crime scene investigation are whether or not the offender was organized or disorganized. And this is a textbook dichotomy. In the real world, it's probably much more complicated than this. Generally speaking, a organized offender is someone who is going to be smart, skilled, meticulous, detail-oriented, and the crime scene is going to reflect that. There will be elements that indicate premeditation and attention to detail. And typically, this offender is going to be experienced. This will not be the first time that they have committed a homicide. This is contrary to the disorganized offender, where they're going to leave behind crime scenes strewn with evidence, and the investigation of the crime scene will indicate that this offender is probably young and/or inexperienced, maybe severely mentally ill, may have been in an extreme emotional state at the time of the crime, may have been under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time of the crime. There will be every indication that this was an impulsive, spontaneous act, or it was carried out with the most minimal planning and deliberation. Now, another facet is staging versus undoing. Staging and undoing can reflect MO and signature, and they can also indicate if the offender is in the organized versus disorganized typology. Staging refers to the crime scene and the victim will be posed. They will put in a position which may be symbolic of something personally significant to the offender. It may be part of the offender's homicidal fantasy that they're acting out. The victim may be put in a position which is undignified or humiliating. Their body may be violated in some way, and also the intention might be to shock and cause secondary victimization to first responders, family members who discover the body, or whoever comes on the crime scene first. Undoing is when the victim will be placed in a position of repose, that is, comfort and relaxation. The victim may be put in bed with the covers over them and their head under a pillow, their arms folded, and this is very irrational. They've just whacked somebody, probably up close and personal. Putting them to bed really is not going to help them, but it serves a need of the offender. Again, this indicates that the offender may very likely be a family member or someone acquainted with the victim, have some sort of relationship with the victim, because in their mind they are doing something to undo the crime, to compensate for what they have done. They are feeling a degree of guilt or shame or remorse, and they're trying to show some respect for the victim. It's a little too late for that, but that may be their intention. Undoing can also occur if a family member or even a stranger comes on the crime scene, and let's say the victim is nude, the victim has been placed in an undignified or humiliating position, and they, just out of a sense of decency, they put a blanket over the victim. And they mean well, their intentions are good, but by doing that, they've just contaminated the crime scene, and they've complicated the investigation unnecessarily. So everybody, with this video and the last one that I made very briefly, we've covered MO, signature, staging, undoing, and the organized versus disorganized offender. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching, and please be safe and hit subscribe.